building barn doors today, but before we get to that, roof is done. I'm going to show you that in just a second. We got all the walls in. I also have another project that just got delivered. Still a little up in the air, but I'll show you that in just a second. But let's show you the roof, because that's what you guys are here for. So again, if you're not familiar with the channel, I built this barn myself. When I got to the roof, I could not get over my fear of getting out there. And on top of that, I couldn't do that, these long metal sheets on my own. So I hired some Amish guys. They came out, they put the eaves off for me, so I still have to fill those in with tongue and groove. And then obviously you can see the roof. Funny story and why production really slowed down out here. And if you do this, if you decide that you're going to build something like this on your own, listen to me now. You have got to put those overhangs on before you do the roof. It was a major flaw from me. I didn't do it. And so the Amish guy, Andy, the Amish wonder, Andy, was waiting for me to get those overhangs done. And I said, man, it was snowing, it kept snowing. Every time I had a chance to get out here, it would snow, it would get nasty. And he couldn't obviously get out there while there was snow on the roof. So finally, it came time to do it, and he said, hey, well, do you just want me to do it for you? And I was literally crossing my fingers that he would ask me at some point. And I said, yeah, Andy, I would love that. What are you going to charge me? And I figured he was going to say $1,000, $1,500, something like that. And if he did, I was still going to be like, yeah, let's do it. And he said, I don't know, a couple, $200 or $300. And they went and knocked it out. They got that done. And everything just worked out great. I'm really happy with the way the roof turned out. Still got to get the eaves up, the windows, doors. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. The key to a good barn door is getting this first one dead square in the center. So that would put us at, again, this is 53.5. So 26 is 52 and then 3/4. So 26 3/4 is dead center. Now I have to come off of there. This is 5.5 inches. So I'm going to come off of there 2 3/4. And then this one will be dead center. And then what this is doing is making sure that at the sides you don't have it look ununiform, or if that's a word. So I'm just going to mark this 6 3/4. There we are. And now 2 3/4 off of, because the 1x6 is 1.5 or 5.5. So 2 3/4. Some guys and gals, I suppose, their barn doors are shiplapped. I don't have shiplap. I'm not making shiplap. If there's a little gap in here, I really don't care. The plan is to, once you get all these boards on, you go through with a circular saw, and I'm building this entire thing with a circular saw. I'm not bothering to whip out the miter saw and all that stuff. I'm good enough with the circular saw at this point that I can just do this on circular saw. So, but to save myself a cut, I'm squaring off this 1x6, butting it up against. I'll run these 2 screws in, and then the same thing down there, and then I only have to cut the length off of this side. There we go. The first one's in there. Now my problem, you might not have this problem. Again, this is all rough cut. It's not a lot of, it could use a planer is what I'm saying, or a joiner. But I just kind of bend them and deal with it. I wasn't really planning on the exterior of the barn having such a rustic look with all of the rough cut wood. But I actually like it a lot now. Once I get used to it, and I like it because you can see the saw marks. It just looks really old. And I really dig that aspect of it. But I thought this was going to be a lot harder than they actually are. This is pretty simple. I can knock a door out in 30 minutes or so, including cutting. It's just not a big deal. Now, if somebody was doing one in their house and you have to sand it and stain it and all that nonsense, then sure, that's going to take some time. But as far as assembling, it's not so bad. The way it works, if you're not familiar, cut all your lengths that you need. And then once it's all assembled, you take a measurement diagonally from one end to the other diagonally and do that on both sides. They should be the exact same number. And if they are, that means your door is square. If they're not, just twist it a little bit and get it into square. Obviously, we're assuming that you made all the right cuts and you don't have 2 inches difference on a cut or something like that. And that's it. And then just slam these boards on. Duh. From right here to the blade is 1.5 inches. So you make your mark, scoot it over 1.5 inches, and the blade will run right where it's supposed to. But you give it 1.5 inches so that this can run up against your straight edge. Okay, let's flip this thing over and put these cross members on it. This door is heavy, right? It's funny because you get used to moving those big old heavy beams around, and you go to grab the door and you're like, no big deal. And then you actually grab it. And it's like, wow, that thing is something else. Hopefully, I can find hinges that will work with this thing no problem. It's all just leverage because I can't lift this. Oh, Lordy! That is no joke, son. What I will recommend, if you are building a lot of these like I am, stack them. Keep stacking them. They make a good table, work area, and it keeps everything on the same plane, so all the wood butts up nicely. Rather than just a sawhorse. So once you get that first one, the other ones subsequently go faster because you have a table the exact right size. So, all right, let's get these cross members on. Okay, so here's the easy way to do cross members. These things really kind of perplexed me. I'm like, how are you supposed to, get that cut in there? Essentially, you just lay it on top. People, depending on who's building it, they'll put this cross member in any number of locations. I just like to try to get it right into the center so that the center of this wood is at the junction of the horizontal and vertical. That's what I like to do. Then from there, you do the same thing here. So it's just literally laid out there. And then I'm going to mark these. I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to place them in. Pretty simple. So these are not only decorative to make the door look nicer, they also keep it from sagging, right? That piece of wood will keep this from racking, so to speak. These outside pieces are 2x. I'm just using a 1x in here, and it's got a little bit of a recess, a 1-inch recess, obviously. And I like that look, so that's what we're sticking with. And then what you're doing, taking your square, and you just get it. Okay, so we're there, and you got to figure out how to get the square on there. I think that's really good right there. So there. I always struggle with the square. There we are. Let's cut them out. And that's how you build a barn door in less than an hour. So not so bad. If you've not done it before, don't get overwhelmed by it because it's literally not a big deal. I know I didn't give real good instructions on what I was doing, but you can follow along. It's pretty simple. Make a rectangle, mark those, cover it with wood. That's it. So I've got these two. They are going in this middle. Then I'll get these two done. And then I have to build out that whole section for that last door, and we will have doors down here. I don't know what I'm going to do here now. Now that, because again, originally those were going to be garage doors, but now that they're barn doors, I think I may just build a barn door, so to speak, here. And I was thinking maybe with like a little Dutch door, so I can have the top open, get some fresh air in here, a little cross breeze, whatever. Not that, having all three of those wouldn't be enough. Even some more light. I'm really anxious to see what the door is going to look like out here. So let's drag it out here and just lean it up against the wall and have a look. I don't know if I'm going to be able to push this thing up. It is heavy. I'll bet you this thing weighs 200 pounds. All right, when I lean this up, let's see what happens. Let's see. There we go. And I'm just going to shove it over a little bit more. Sure you are. There we go. Leave it just like that. Let's see what she looks like. What's she look like? Oh, I love it. I love it. Do you love it? When I was picking up this wood, it's, you know, beggars can't be choosers sort of deal. So I'm like, oh, it's great, but I really like it like that. It gives it a lot more character. Oh, man, that thing is heavy. Once we get these barn doors in and I put the lights up here, man, I am going to absolutely love this place. It's gonna be hard to get me out of here. You better bring a gun. Okay, enough barn door talk now. I told you guys I had a bit of a surprise for you. So I'll show you what the next project out here is going to be. It got dropped off yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday, yes. And I bought this actually a couple of months back before I had the roof on. And I said, please don't deliver it until I get the roof on. Here it is. If you're not familiar, this is a 72 Ford F100, affectionately called a bump side. So from 67 to 72, they were bump sides where the side bumped out, makes perfect sense. And then from 73 to 79, they were dent sides. That same area ended up going in as in a dent. And then there's typically some chrome that goes across there on both series, but that's it. What we're going to do here is we are going to completely restore this truck. Take off the cab, take off the bed. It's actually already off. He just put them back on so that he could deliver it. So they're gonna come off very easy. All the parts needed are laying in the truck bed. Obviously the frame has already been done. I hate the white paint, so I'm gonna strip that down and put black paint on it like a frame is supposed to look. I don't know what the deal is with the white. And we are going to drop a Coyote motor and transmission into this. If you are not a car guy, a Coyote motor is a newer Mustang motor. They produce, you know, roughly 400 horsepower. Not that I'm a horsepower, I want to drive fast everywhere, but Coyote motor, it makes these trucks really reliable, gives you the convenience of a new engine, the gas mileage of a new engine, but you have that old truck look, so it's kind of cool. This is really popular right now. Guys are doing it like mad. Let me kind of show you around. So here's the dash. Here's where the radio is supposed to be. Giant dash over here, the big sweeping dash. And then, if you're younger than me, you might not recognize what this thing is. This is actually the gas tank. When manufacturers didn't give a shit whether you lived or died, they put the gas tank right there for you so that you could just smell the gas while you were driving down the road. We'll remove that and we will put the tank in the frame at the back like it should be. Right, so here's the gas cap. This is literally where you filled gas into the trucks, which is a really cool look. I love the look of it, but this gas tank takes up much needed space, and because it's going to be a Mustang engine, it is electronically fuel injected. You may not know, electronic fuel injection engines need electronic fuel injection gas tanks. They're a little bit different than a standard gas tank. So we will put it in the back of the truck, behind the tires here where you see it in modern day trucks. There's a couple of different ways to do it. You can cut a hole in here and put the gas lid right there. Most guys, however, actually do it right in the bed. They just put their gas filler right in the truck bed and fill it up right there. So they drop the tailgate and put gas in. But yeah, this is going to be the project for this year. I won't start this until we get the barn done. Then we'll get started with that, but I'm happy to have it here. But man, I love that barn door. I absolutely love it. So listen, thanks for stopping by. I will see you guys next time. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. And see you next time.